doing something about it right now. 4 or 5 cannons defending it, but I'm not sure if that'll be enough if Lita actually learns about it and decides to do anything to take it down. But Lita not in a hugely terrible position, but he really needs to take down a base from Free. Both players, it looks like, mined out in their main base. I think Free has a little bit left in his natural expansion, but I don't think Lita does, because he was stuck on 3 bases for so long. Pretty well upgraded, though. It looks like 2-2 on his upgrades, and well, they're showing the Arbiter now. I don't know what the ground upgrades are for Free quite yet. But if Lita, even if he could just send a group of, oh no, and a big recall coming into the main base, he used that 7 o'clock base as sort of a staging point to send his Arbiter in, and he's got a lot of Dragoons deep into the main base of Lita. So Lita, I don't know, he's going to have to bring a lot of units to clear that out. That's a lot of Dragoons. He's losing a number of supply depots right now, which is not the most critical, but he might end up being supply locked eventually. At the same time, it looks like Free is setting up to do another recall. He's got another group of Dragoons stacked up in the middle of the map. Although this would be very critical if he's able to take down that starport, and he does with his last shots of his Dragoons. So Lita is not going to be able to produce any more science vessels for a little while, so those Arbiters are going to have free reign to stasis units and do recalls all over the map. The only thing to defend are going to be a couple of Goliaths that Lita made and those missile turrets that are out there, but you know, you can just send an Arbiter, and they're usually going to be able to get off their recall before any missile turrets are able to kill them, is what I'm trying to say. So Free with a distinct advantage right now. Once again, up 2 bases on Lita, because he has this base in the 7 o'clock position, which should be Lita's by all rights. And it looks like he might be going in for another recall. He's got another Arbiter kind of hanging out there. Now finally Lita going on the offensive a little bit, doing a little bit of a drop behind the mineral lines at that 1 o'clock position with just a Vulture and a tank, and that has actually stopped mining there. So pretty good harassment job from Lita. It looks like that second recall is coming in, but there's a field of spider mines, but he just skips them, does not recall there, and recalls in the middle of the supply depots. So these units are going to be able to be recalled in, and once again Lita does not have anything there to defend them. Just the single tank that was pretty critical in stopping the last force, and it gets wiped out pretty easily, and Lita is losing a lot right now. He has got to go in and take down a couple of bases, because he's going to be losing a ton of supply depots, possibly those 2 armories. I don't think that they were working on any more upgrades at the moment, but he is likely to lose both of them before he can wipe out that base. Dang, once again getting EMP'd, getting stasised on his science vessel so that he can't EMP those Arbiters. A couple of Arbiters hanging out there and a group of Dragoons. If he had gotten an EMP on that group, he would have definitely been able to take out that army, if not that entire southeast base. He does, however, have the ability to siege over on that 7 o'clock base, so that is finally now destroyed. He might be able to march that army into the southeast, although he has to go uphill to do that, and Lita is just given up practically on his main base. He has not tried to clear that out, or at least not tried well enough to clear it out. It looks like Lita's going to try to wait for a second to get that science vessel and those couple of Goliaths unstasied, and then move into that southeast base, which he is doing right now. But Free seems like he is on top of it, and he is just, his economy must just be huge right now. I imagine he's got a ton of money in the bank. Finally, Lita with a good EMP stopping a 3rd recall from coming into his main base, and he is on the offensive now, pushing into that southeast base, and if he can take out this base, it's going to help him out tremendously. His 4th base up in the northwest has been up and running for a little while now. Once again, another great stasis, not only getting a huge amount of units, but also blocking off that ramp, so no more reinforcements going to be able to come in for Lita, and Free will be able to defend this southeast base on account of that one stasis. That was all it took. Lita also losing that science vessel, but I think he took out an Arbiter in exchange, and still Lita's main base is decimated, and there's still an Arbiter hanging out, picking away at that command center. command center is not that important, but all of the supply that he has lost is pretty important. A nice little bit of micro once again dropping behind that mineral line at the 1 o'clock base, and it's going to stop mining there once again. So Lita has, at the very least, stopped both the 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock from mining for a while. The 7 o'clock is completely taken away. If he's able to retake that on his own, that actually could be very good for him. Also, stopping mining at the 7 o'clock for a little while with a little bit of a drop, but Lita is practically mined out everywhere. I think the only mining base that he has right now is that 4th base that he put up at the northwest. Free, however, still has the southeast. It looks like he still has minerals around the 9 o'clock base, and his base at the 7 o'clock is still standing despite being harassed a little bit. So Free is still securely in control of this game, and not only is Lita down economically, but he lost all of the supply depots, so he's going to have to rebuild those before he's going to be able to produce an army that's as big as Free's is right now. Free is probably, you know, flirting with maxing out whenever he builds his armies and sends them on to attack, while Lita is struggling, I'm imagining, probably to keep up at about 120. I'm just pulling these numbers out of thin air. I don't really know because they don't have the nice little statistic thing. Very nice EMP right there, stopping, I think, all 5, no, it looks like 4 of the 5 High Templar that are there, but this is definitely going to be a doom force for Free. I think Free is well in control of this. Only a couple of tanks left to defend this 3 o'clock expansion. Not that it particularly matters because there's no resources there, and Lita has no other sources of income other than the northwest position. He has been able to do a little bit of economic damage, but he just doesn't have the production power or the supply limit or really any good things going for them to keep up with Free. Free just on a macro spree right now. I'm sure he's mining at full capacity up there at the 1 o'clock base again. The southeast base is mining quite thoroughly and is likely, well, I don't know if it's well defended or not. It doesn't really matter if he defends it particularly well because Lita can't afford to send a task force anywhere. And barring some sort of like drop, maybe some bit of micro where he's able to take out like all of the arbiters, or maybe some sort of drop that ends up taking out a whole base and then moves it and takes out a whole another base. Maybe those things might be able to pull Lita back into this game, but so far he is just really struggling, which is pretty unfortunate because the start of this match was very good. It looks like once again an arbiter coming in looking to try to get a big stasis, but only getting a couple of units, but he does get all of the Goliaths, so there are no units there to defend, and then the second stasis hits all of the tanks, so only one tank and a handful of vultures here to defend against this last attack from Free. I don't know if it's actually the last attack, but it's got to be pretty late for Lita right now. Another stasis coming in. He just has so many arbiters right now that once the first stasis goes down, especially if he can stop some anti-air defense, then he can just make a chain of stasis, blasts all over Lita's units. So this 3 o'clock position is being completely taken out and stormed out by Free. He's just going to be marching his way back down. Those Goliaths do come out and kill one of those arbiters, so a small victory coming there from Lita, but 1 out of the 5 or 6 arbiters that are floating above his head is not going to be a critical win. It looks like that science facility is probably also going to go down. Lita only staying in this match, I believe, just because it is an ace match and his team's chances are on the line. Trying to prevent Sparkyz from losing 3 in a row at the start of the round 2 of the 9-10 Pro League season, but I do not think that he will be able to do it, and that is finally GG. Lita not able to beat Free. Very unfortunate there. Oh, that's sad. Oh well, it was a very good start to the game. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this too long because I think I can stop and split this into 3 parts if I stop it right now. So anyways, in an ace match, Sparkyz going down 2-3 against Woongjin Stars, and they are really hurting at the beginning of the round 2 of the 9-10 Pro League season. Anyways, the next match will be against Eastro, I believe, and I'll be trying to get that out as quick as possible. Anyways, thanks again for watching.